Hello, this is E. Thomas Videos, and today's video is a video that I've been wanting to make for some time. Now, before we get started, you're probably not going to know who the person that I'm talking about today is unless you're in the paranormal community or you've been around the Pearl Jam community. So, let's get started. This is a rant about a man named MadHobbit. He called himself MadHobbit. His new channel is some word I can't even pronounce. I think it's something like Phasmatis Sermo? Let me check. I can scroll down a little bit. Just type in Jeremy Delle. You'll find this guy. Yeah, Phasmatis Sermo. And this is a guy with a pretty warped Jeremy Delle obsession. Now, if you don't know who Jeremy Delle is, Jeremy Wade Delle is a 15-year-old boy who shot himself fatally in front of his English class on January 8th, 1991. The 23rd anniversary of his death is coming up. And he became the subject of Pearl Jam's popular song, Jeremy. Now, I remember the song Jeremy being probably the first real grunge song I got into. It's the song that got me into grunge. I researched it. I researched Jeremy Delle. This happened about almost 6 years ago. It will be 6 years ago in January. Holy shit. So, I looked up Jeremy Delle's story and I was fascinated. Not in the sick, perverted sense of fascination, but fascinated as a young kid by, oh my god, I can't believe someone would do this in front of their classroom, why'd they do it? And it turns out that he was really depressed, and then this year all this new info came out on the Jeremy website stating there's a police report on Jeremy and a whole bunch of other stuff that came out on him that was previously never released before. So there's a lot more to the story now than there was when I first heard about it 5 years ago. And rest in peace, Jeremy Wade Delle. You were missed. The reason I'm making this video is when I first started researching Jeremy Delle, I found this guy. His original name was MadHobbit, aka Jamie Cole of Exeter. I think it's in England. This guy made videos thinking that he could talk to Jeremy Delle via Ouija board and via EVPs. And me being raised in a very spiritually evolved family, and me being raised in a family that believes in the paranormal and believes in psychic powers and stuff like that, I thought, wow, cool. This seems awesome. This man also claimed that he had been in contact with Jeremy's family at one point, and claimed that Jeremy's favorite band was Whitesnake, and through all these personal contacts with them, which later turned out to be not the case at all. He's just a lying fuck who's a pedophile. Because recently, and I mean as of October of this year, it was found that he had over 2 million child porn images. 2 fucking million! I found out about this because, okay, so this Jamie Cole, I was friends with him on Facebook. He seemed like a very nice guy. He had been away from Facebook for a little over a year, and we were all worried sick about him. His son disappeared, and we were like, where the fuck were you? And then he came back and then claimed that this all happened due to his depression, and I wish I still had some of the screenshots of what he claimed his depression was the cause of him going away for a year and a half, and said that he came close to suicide, and again related that to Jeremy Delle. who actually did off himself. I might have some of the screenshots on my tablet. There's not a good chance that I do, though, because I cleaned out my tablet a little while back. But there is a chance I might have it. Where's the gallery button on this thing? I've had this tablet for months and I can't find the fucking gallery button. It's like I'm staring at it in French. Here we go. Right there. It's gonna be a couple minutes. But I still have the fucking screenshots. That is, I have a lot of screenshots. Not all of them are Jamie Cole related, but I do have some from Jamie Cole of him speaking to me personally. Jeremy Delle tribute page I had. Some other screenshots. I don't believe I have the depression ones. I sent some to my friend a little while back, but we're talking about going back 2 months and searching for messages that are 2 months old. I do, however, have the screenshot of the original article, and it turns out my friend Sarah posted this. A lot of people have verified that this is James Peter Cole from Devon, Exeter, and he goes by MadHobbit, and he claims to be communicating with Jeremy after I posted a picture on the Jeremy Delle tribute page or something. I mean, the post I had was previously from about 3 years ago, when we were coming up on the anniversary of Jeremy Delle's death, the 20th anniversary of Jeremy Delle's death. I don't know if I have any edited screenshots anymore. I might have gotten rid of them. There they are. I don't know if they're still there. There they are! Ah, I still have this one. Thank goodness I do. So, it says right here, this is a screenshot on my totally not Photoshop tablet. Just thought I would let you all know, over the past 15 months has been the most difficult time in my life. Just like Jeremy Delle, I have battled with suicidal thoughts for many years, and nearly came close to it in fucking tablet. In November of 2012 and February of this year. I have lost my job due to my mental health and only just getting by of the support of my dad. This will explain my 12 months away from Facebook. I just cannot handle interactions. I'm going to the hospital tomorrow and will be gone for several weeks. My dogs are now at a farm with a lovely family who used to breed Shiba Inus, so my best friends are taken care of. So just letting you all know, before I go tomorrow, I will be deactivating my account in 12 hours and reactivating it when I return home. In the meantime, if you can help me out, use this link. If you can't, that's okay. I'll see you soon and maybe get back into the paranormal next year. Basically the gist of it. He said a couple more words, but they're not really related to any of this. Just a couple thank yous. I feel good that I screenshotted that because it turned out that this guy is a freaky pedophile fuck. So, let's read the news article from the Exeter Express and Echo. A recluse who spent 10 years at home feeding his obsession with internet pornography was found with 2 million images of child abuse. James Cole started compiling his massive collection of photographs and movies within months of finishing a sex offenders course. He was only caught because he linked up with a pedophile ring, which was being monitored in a nationwide police operation, Exeter Crown Court was told. That's fucked up. And as my friend Jessica, who is personal friends with Jeremy Delle, has been saying that she's thought that Jamie was a pedophile for years. He's frequented countries like Japan and India, places well known for child trafficking, and I fear what he did on his vacations weren't really for the best interest of the world, like he's claimed. I fear that he's abused guys and gals, and Jess has also stated that she's seen Jamie pick up guys before, or try to pick up boys before. I'm only stating this because it's on her public Twitter account, and we've sent tweets back and forth, and this guy has a pretty warped obsession with Jeremy Delle. It turns out that all of his paranormal findings are fake. He faked his EVPs, he faked his Ouijas, and the evidence of how he did this was about 3 years old, and nobody downloaded it, and it's not available anywhere. But Jamie supposedly faked all of his EVPs and faked all of his Ouijas to make himself seem legit, and actually stole a picture of Jeremy Delle's sister from her Facebook account to make him seem legitimate. Now that's fucked up, and that's only causing pain to a family that doesn't deserve any more pain, because they've been pretty much suffering with the memory and the loss of their dear family member for 23 years. That has got to be a burden and got to be something that's on their mind every single day. Continue with the article. Former factory worker Cole, aged 39, slipped into a cycle of depression which led him to stay inside his extra home and devote his entire life to seeking out images of young boys, you creepy motherfucker. Honestly. Now, I found Jamie Cole when I was quite young, and I fear what could have happened in discussions had I been a younger male, if this was all the case. Now, there's been evidence shown that, and it's posted on Jess's Twitter account, that it says here, it's from January 14th, 2004, so it's around this time frame that the article listed. Hi, my name's Jamie. I am from England, and I am 26 years old, male. I'm going to Tokyo in July, and I want to make friends with a Japanese person to chat about Japan and England, but also like to chat in MSN Messenger. Prefer to make friends with the male around 14 to 28. So he's lying about his age because Jamie Cole is 39 currently. So this would make him, if this was about 10 years ago, it would make him around about 30. It would make him 30 years old. Lying about his age. Liar, liar. No sympathy at all. I look forward to hearing from you. Jamie, winky face. English male wants English male pen friend. That's fucked up. And also, Jamie created profiles in a child sex ring. Says this person has not created a profile, but he has old activity in alt.sex.children. Looking for sugar gliders in the UK, an English male, wants English male pen friend. He was primarily into little boys. That's pretty fucked up. Police found 4 different computers. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. 4. And they were able to calculate the number of images as around 2 million. Who the fuck has that kind of time? To sit around there and get off on 2 million images of child abuse images? They analyzed just 2,500 in detail because it would take around 150 days work to sift through the entire collection. It would take 1/3 of a year to sift through the entire collection. It would take about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. That's messed up. Cole of Bonnie Road, Exeter, admitted 9 offenses of making or possessing indecent or prohibited images of children. He had a previous conviction from Plymouth Crown Court in 2000 for importing and possessing similar material. On that occasion, he received 3 years probation. Why the fuck isn't this guy in jail? This guy is visiting countries known for sex trafficking. He's looking for male pen friends that are like 14. Why would a 26-year-old want to mess around with a 14-year-old? That in and of itself is fishy. And to put the winky face at the end of it, ah, dude, you're just a little bit creepy. And by a little bit, I mean monumentally creepy. And lying about talking to a 15-year-old boy's spirit? Lying about the soul or the spirit of a dead 15-year-old who took his life in a brutal fashion. A brutal fashion. Horribly. Horribly. And to cause the family and friends of him much more pain. Now, I've known of this happening for about 2 months, and that's one of the only reasons I'm doing this in a kind of calm manner. Because if I had filmed this back in October, or if I had thought to film this back in October, this would end up worse than my Cutter's video. My Cutter's rant. And that's really saying something, because I go apeshit. He was jailed for 21 months, explaining his absence from Facebook, suspended for 2 years in order to undertake the Internet Sex Offenders Treatment Program. He was also made subject of a sexual offenses prevention order, which allows police to monitor his computer and bans contact with children. That's really good. I mean, not the fact that he was a sex offender, no. But that's good that he can't talk to children anymore, you creepy fuck. Judge Eric Salomonson told this represented the best way of protecting the public, despite a similar course in 2000 failing to curb his activities. Why isn't he in jail? He said, "This man seems to be a recluse who shut himself away for 10 years looking at these extremely unhealthy images." Motherfucker, this is child porn we're talking about. Extremely unhealthy is the understatement of the year. This is not a victimless crime because children are abused to create these images. Understatement of the year. He had more than 2 million images and has become absolutely obsessed with them. If he was sent to prison, then he would come out without any work being done. Then why don't you put him in counseling or in a mental institution while he's in prison? You can give counseling to people while they're in jail. While he's in a jail cell with Bubba being abused like the kids in those images, and God knows what the fuck else he's done to kids. I'm not a big fan of pedophiles. I'm sorry. Alright. My instinct is prison is undoubtedly the right place for him, but public interest is best served by undertaking the treatment program. Fuck the public interest! Put him in jail! That's what he deserves to be, is in a prison cell. Locked up, getting counseling in prison, while this guy is not free to have sex or to look at any abusive images of young children. You simple-minded sheeple. Mr. Sean Brunson, prosecuting, said Cole was identified after he paid £12 to a man in the Midlands who was monitored by police for a disc of indecent images. Officers uncovered his previous conviction and raided his home after realizing he was a registered sex offender. The computer equipment was examined and a vast number of images were found, around 2 million. These were photographs, graphics, drawings, and movies. All sorts of child pornography. Kind of Ian Watkins level of fucked up. But not quite, because we don't have the detailed story from any of Jamie's victims. And yes, I said victims because I'm not doubting that he has any. But to get off on child torture and child perversion makes you a fucked up person. Vast majority were still photographs, but it is accepted that many were duplicates on different hard drives. There are hundreds of thousands on 4 different pieces of equipment. All the material was very similar, and to have analyzed it in full, the officers would have had to take 150 days to go through it all. He said that the amount of material was so great that police had taken a sample of 2,560 images and found that of those, 613 were in the two worst categories, showing boys being abused or acts of sadism. Oh my god. That's really fucked up. Of the 184 movie samples, 96 came into the same groupings. So the majority of the movies were sadistic. A vast number of the images were sadistic and showed torture. Why isn't this guy in prison? Give him a prison sentence. And the images were downloaded of almost 10 years from January 2003 to July 2012. Almost all the images were of boys, and search terms included nude preteen boys. Mr. Malcolm Galloway, defending, said the original treatment program had stopped them from offending for its duration, and the techniques developed in the intervening decade meant that the current program is more focused and effective. He said, the pre-sentence report shows him to be a lonely individual who used the internet to rebound from depression, then entered a cycle in which he felt extreme self-loathing, which fed into his depression and led him to seek more images. His problem is deep-seated and needs to be addressed. He's not a risk to children at the moment, but the probation service are concerned about what comes next. End article. What comes next is, this guy is going to be fucking children. That's the concern. I'm sorry that it's so explicit. I shouldn't have to spell it out for you guys, because you guys should have realized that this guy, he's fucked up. He didn't learn from his last prison sentence. He didn't learn anything from being locked up. So, throw him back in the jail and lock the fucking jail cell and throw away the key. Throw away the key. Just completely get rid of it. Throw it in the garbage. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Get rid of the key. Oh my god. Very strange. Very strange to center yourself around a 15-year-old boy who died. Let's look at his tweet. In it, he has a picture of his dogs, and his dogs are very adorable. Very cute Shiba Inus. You know those little Doge memes that come up on Facebook a lot? They're like that. They're very cute. And aside from talking to psychics, it's going to take me a little bit, he asked a younger boy if he had a girlfriend, that he enjoys his movies. Very, very creepy to ask a younger looking boy if he has a girlfriend. And mainly talks about the X factor. Not very incriminating evidence, but he makes himself seem like a really nice guy, when really he does all this fucked up shit. He got a second Twitter account, came back on Facebook for a little bit, came out of his hiding hole, and he hasn't changed much. And Jess, who I've been tweeting, shows that, again, the alt-sex children things, and she had horrific images. I hope he's in therapy. I hope he's back in jail because he's gone from Facebook. I hope someone had the sense to lock this fucker up. Because my main concern with him is not just the images, but the fact that he would take such a young boy like Jeremy Delle and exploit his story, make it seem like you're talking to a spirit when really you're lying, and you have a sick fantasy life around boys and younger boys and exploiting them and using them for your own gain and getting off to their fucking images of them being tortured and abused and trying to make yourself seem like the better person when really you're not. Really, you're a sick fucking pedophile who deserves to be locked up for the rest of your life, who deserves those acts of sadism that you watch as the little boys performed on you. And I'm sorry if that seems harsh, but it's true. Also, there was a boy named Dominic that committed suicide a while back. I told Jessica that she should release everything that she has on Jamie, and then she told me that she thought about it, but the cops caught him with 2 million photos. What would her pictures add? Not very much, understandably. It also says here about the guy named Dominic. Do you feel bad for harassing Dom's dad, Roger, after his son killed himself? Jamie, his name at MadHobbit666, which this guy is fucking evil. Roger is dead now. Screenshot you cyberbullying him. I'd really like to see the screenshot of him cyberbullying Dom's dad, because that would be a huge piece of evidence against him being a cyberbullying fuck, along with a creepy pedophile. Creepy pedophile. And a lot of people who do know me know that I don't stand for pedophiles. I don't stand for guys who do that kind of shit. And then he had a GoFundMe account, like I said earlier, about giving money to him when he was depressed. And then Jess said, feel sorry for me and send me money because I get off on seeing little boys get raped and tortured. Which is true, which would be the truer statement if Jamie had said that instead. I can't believe what he did. And he was begging for money. And I've known from several interviews with people that did know about what MadHobbit did, that he would take money, he would steal money from other people, and he stole. And one of the tweets just says, begging people for money because you are sent to prison for being a pedo. You are a thief. Remember how you ripped off Chantel? Which I don't know who Chantel is. But the police need to do their job. They need to throw this guy in prison. That's the only solution. I'm going to link you to Jess's Twitter profile, because linking you to all the tweets would take a while, plus most of the evidence is right there. I mean, he needs to walk back into prison. Can't believe it. It's so messed up. There's no justice in England. And Jamie would claim that Jess was crazy, apparently, with his Ouija sessions with Jeremy. And all this other shit that's just bullshit. Sick pedophile. Sick pedophile. Ugh. SMH. I really do hope that Jess does everything in her power to haunt Jamie, like she said in her tweets, until the day that he stops his obsession with Jeremy. And he needs to hide away. And for now, Jamie Cole is gone. Jamie Cole is gone for now. But you never know when he'll be back. He came back unexpectedly after a year and a half. And I sent him a message from Jeremy's friend. And then he later deleted his account. Because he knows he's a fucking guilty ass motherfucker. I really have nothing else to say. Most of the evidence speaks for himself. The police in Exeter need to do their job and do the right thing and lock this creepy guy up forever. Because I believe pedophiles honestly deserve a life sentence in prison for abusing young children. And I honestly believe that the police should have done their fucking jobs. I'll link you to the evidence down below. I'll link to the news article. And I didn't really get to talk about what I wanted to, which was that Jamie was fake, and that's one of the other reasons that I made this video, is to talk about how disrespectful it is to the memory of a dead person to fake talking to their spirit and fake giving their family some hope, to terrorize them and to steal photos from their family and to lie about the life of a young boy where the information you post about it is so readily accessible. And a lot of the information, as I've heard Jeremy's friends have told Jamie, is that he's psychotic, and a lot of his information was way off, way off on Jeremy. And why would you be so disrespectful to Jeremy as to pretend to talk to his spirit? I'm sure if Jeremy Delle's spirit was around, he probably would not be around a guy who likes to fucking look at and gets off on images of torturing young boys. He'd look at you and then run away. And by run, I mean fucking take a flying leap into the next realm, so he wouldn't have to see that shit anymore, or your bullshit anymore. How dare you? How fucking dare Jamie? And that just about wraps up this rant. There's nothing else I could say that hasn't already been said in the past half hour. I don't want to go on repeating myself too much, but this guy's twisted. Remember that. You Thomas videos. Over and out.